Hi, in this micro lecture, we're going to look at putting assignments and quizzes up in Blackboard. Now, the steps, the sequence. First, you create the content, then you decide when and how you want to share it with students, and then if you're going to link it with the gradebook or not. You certainly don't have to. I'm going to look at my Principles of Marketing course. For this course, I've got the 3 unannounced quizzes, 4 marketing projects, the midterm exam, and the final exam. I'm going to use Blackboard for the quizzes, yes, and for the marketing projects, absolutely. I'm not decided on the midterm and the final. Maybe, maybe not. I can always do that later on. Okay, here's my class. There's nothing in it. So the very, very first thing we need to do is create a marketing projects content area. And to do that, I'm going to click on that little plus arrow, and I'm going to create a content area. I've named this content area Marketing Projects. And so now I've got a bucket, if you will, for my marketing projects, and I'm going to add some projects. So the first one I want to add is the segmentation project that is going to be due on September 30. As long as I'm in here, I'm going to take a look at my quizzes as well. I've decided, the students don't know it yet, but they're going to have a pop quiz on September 18 on Chapter 5, Globalization. So first we'll create the segmentation project, and then we'll go back and create the quiz. So I'm going to go ahead and name my project the segmentation project. So I'll just type that in there where it says name. And I can put the description in there now, or I can put the description in there later. And I decided that this was going to be due September 30, so I'm going to scroll in my little calendar there and select September 30. And I always like to make my projects due at 11:59 p.m. If for no other reason than the merriment I get seeing how many students submit it between 11 and 11:59 p.m. It was going to be 100 points, so there I've got my 100 points. Looks good. I'm creating this now in June, but I don't want the students, they're probably not going to go look for it anyway, but I don't want them to see it until the course starts. So it will not display until after August 24, and then I just let them stay there for the whole semester, so it will display until the end of the semester. Notice there it's not showing. You see that little box with the line through it. That means it is not visible. The whole bucket there is not visible. I'm going to go ahead and make the bucket visible simply by clicking on there where it says show link. And so now the marketing projects bucket, if you will, is visible, but the students can't actually see the segmentation project yet. Now this is my view. What you're seeing on the screen right now is my view. If you see that red arrow and that little symbol there, that's how you toggle back and forth between your view and the student view. And I think it's a good idea to always make sure that you're cognizant of exactly what it is that the students are seeing. So when I click on that, and it tells me that the student preview mode is on, I see that the students can see off to the left in the left-hand ribbon there, marketing projects, but they can't see any content. There's no content to display, and they're not going to be able to see it until August 24th or 26th, what it is. When the students can see it, here's what they're going to see. Now, it will say the segmentation project, and when they click on that, and this is where they, get the details. It's due Wednesday, September 30. It's 100 points. And when they submit it right here. So they attach the file and submit it. And so now it is in Blackboard. They've submitted it up into Blackboard, where I can then grade it. Quick little thing. I set up the gradebook before anything. And so I had 4 columns for my 4 projects. And one of those I called the STP project. I've here since changed the name of that to the segmentation project. Oftentimes I will name them project 1, 2, 3, 4, just so that I know I've got them set up in my gradebook. But if I create them in Blackboard to be submitted in Blackboard, I don't want there to be 2 columns in there. So I need to get rid of the one that I set up. Super, super simple to do. If you look here, I now have 1,100 points. There were only supposed to be 1,000 points. And the reason is I created my gradebook. It had the 1,000 points. the projects were worth 100 points. I then created this segmentation project, so now I actually technically have 5 projects in the grade book. See, look down there, I've still got the STP project, as I called it when I created the gradebook, but now I just added the segmentation project. So if we count up the projects in there, there's now 5 of them at 100 points. That's not what I want. I only want the 4 at 100 points. So I'm going to go and delete that STP project. That's super simple to do. So there I select the STP project from the gradebook. I hit the little down arrow, and then it says delete column. That's what I want to do. So I click it. It wants to make sure that you know what you're doing, so it will say delete the column and all of its associations. This action is final. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'll click OK, and away it goes. Now those 100 points disappeared, and so now we've only got 1,000 points. I now have the segmentation project in there. Although I want to make sure that I've got the segmentation project in the category for projects, so I will go into the segmentation column. I will go into the edit column information, and I will go, see, it gave it the category assignment by default when I created assignment, but I'm going to change that designation from assignment to projects, and so then it will be in that project calculation bucket. Again, I want the primary display to be a score out of 100, and a secondary display, I can make that the letter or the percentage. And now it's in the category of projects, and it's 100 points, good to go. And so now it's in that calculated grade for the marketing projects. Also, whenever you create a new column, in your gradebook, it goes to the very, very bottom, if you will, or I should say to the far right as you go left to right. That's going to be the first thing to do. So I want to move that up to the top. Easy enough to do. Just grab the handle and drag it on up. And so now it's the first one up there. Okay. What about setting up the pop quizzes? They aren't supposed to know when those pop quizzes are. That's okay. It's going to say pop quiz 1, but it's not going to say when it is. Here's how I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go into the pop quizzes. I've got a little pop quiz bucket. And they're going to get a pop quiz on September 18 for Chapter 5, and I've already created that. So pop quiz Chapter 5. There is the file that's the questions, Principles of Marketing Quiz, Chapter 5. And then there's the file, the quiz answer sheet that I want them to put their answers in. So I will put those 2 files in my pop quiz folder there. And so I have put them there. You can see that, Principles of Marketing Quiz, Chapter 5, quiz answer sheet. The due date, it's due September 18 because that's the day they're going to get it, and they've only got 20 minutes or so to complete the quiz. It's 50 points. Notice the pop quiz 1, the entire bucket is hidden. I'm going to leave that bucket hidden. They're not going to be able to see that until the day of the pop quiz. In fact, the minute of the pop quiz, they're going to come into the classroom, and I'm going to unhide it and let them know that, okay, there's a pop quiz today, and I want everybody to open up the Principles of Marketing quiz and get ready to take it. I don't want them to open it and start going while I'm still giving instructions and everything, so I have password protected that. So, when they can see it, they're going to get the 2 files, they're going to open them up, but they're not going to be able to see the quiz until I am ready to say, okay, the quiz is about to begin, and here's the password, open the quiz, get going, and as soon as you're done, put your Excel file answers, upload those to Blackboard, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, and that's what the students can see there. Now, grading. When I want to grade something that is, here I didn't take that pop quiz out of there. There's 1050. I've now got 4 pop quizzes, so I'm going to have to go in and delete that pop quiz unnecessary one. And yeah, they're going to be the score out of 50 and a letter grade, and it's in the pop quiz bucket. 50 points, all good. It must be set up in their Blackboard Learn format for Blackboard to automatically grade it. In other words, I've just created the quiz myself with my own questions in Word. So it is not in Blackboard Learn format. So Blackboard will not automatically grade it. If you want to do that, this is where you go and do that. The course tools, tests, surveys, and pools. Click on that and you see the tests. This is where you're going to put tests that are in the Blackboard Learn format, and then it will be set up to automatically grade. You can either import a test, one that's already in that format, Maybe you have a text that has instructor resources that has quizzes in that format, or if you've already or if you want to build your own, you can build your own. You know what? I've already got my midterms, my finals, my quizzes. I've already created all those in Word. I don't want to reinvent the wheel and put those into Blackboard. It's just easier for me to just go ahead and grade them on my own. So I'm not going to do that. But if I were, here's what I'd have to do. I'd have to take each question and then enter that. And so there's the question, and then I'd have to enter the 4 or 5 possible answers, and then note which one is the correct answer. Truth be told, that's more work than I want to do, so I'm just going to keep doing it my old way. Okay, but if you have that and in that format, you can import it, a test that you've created, again, or a test that is in your content collection, or that was made available to you as instructor resources. There's a quick introduction to assignments and quizzes in Blackboard.